So we want to be a global leader, not a mute spectator anymore. But with the changing equations all around the world, are we really engaging with other countries? Do we understand the changes? And are we trying to become the leader in this world? Or are we just going along in a very safe way and sticking on to whatever we thought is safe and a neutral position always? If the Indian foreign policy is measured by the number of trips our Prime Minister has gone on, it is a grand success. And honestly, we have to accept that he has made India many new friends, broken new paths, and he has tried to woo them to invest in India. The good part of the story ends here. It is easy for the government to throw numbers and say that the follow-up has been great. But in reality, what has India achieved? Let us look at our neighbors, Pakistan, China, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Pakistan is becoming more aggressive than ever before. We have to find out what is the reason. Is it a problem with us, or is somebody behind Pakistan encouraging them to get more aggressive with us? And look at Nepal. We are being blamed for the blockade in Nepal. Just the people over there, they've turned their anger. Culturally, India and Nepal share a joint heritage, and we've always felt together. But today, the people in Nepal blame us for the blockade, and petrol became 5 to 10 times costlier during the blockade, and every single product became a luxury. A friend of mine who recently visited Kathmandu tells me that they are seething anger under the surface. Nepalese who loved the Indian cricket team, in fact, they consider every member of our team to be their hero. That era is over. Now they support any team that plays against India. This might be a very innocuous example, but this shows their depth of anger against us. In Bangladesh, all our eggs are put into one basket. What happens if the opposition actually participates in the national elections this time? So, Maldives, which side are we on? The Prime Minister hasn't visited Maldives, but we have to ask our question, ourselves, which side are we on? And Palestine, we are not complaining, we are not saying that India should not visit Israel, but why are we suddenly ignoring Palestine? We have to be on the just side. I like to quote an example with a name which they would love to hear, Ram. Why is Ramayanam celebrating Ram? It's because he stood on the side of justice at whatever cost. Are we standing on the side of justice? Sir, when it comes to Sri Lanka, have we ever had a strategy? Today, China is everywhere in Sri Lanka. That is definitely not just dangerous for Tamil Nadu, it is dangerous for India. We turned a blind eye to the way that the innocent Tamils in Sri Lanka were attacked, and to a blind eye to the human rights abuses, and still, till today, we are continuing to turn a blind eye. And when it comes to Indo-US relationship, it's always been a one-way street. It continues to this day, despite all accusations of the US President Donald Trump, Walmart, subsidy to farmers, curbing on the H-1B visas, insistence that we keep our markets open while they keep shut. It is typical US strategy, and that has played out very well for them over the decades. And another important issue which was brought up at WTO negotiations was peace clause. We are in 2017. Now the 4 years has passed. The time has come for us to find a permanent solution. What solution are we going to find? Are we going to give in? Are we going to give in our rights to give subsidies to our farmers? Are we going to be controlled about the MSPs? What are we going to do? Are we going to listen to what the world markets want us to do. This is a very important time, and we have to answer these questions. Sir, after the hostilities in Sri Lanka, which is supposed to have ended in 2009, after the Sri Lankan forces comprehensively overran the liberation tigers of Tamil, there has been a clamor on both the countries to rehabilitate the Sri Lankan Tamils. But actually, how much rehabilitation has happened? How much help has been extended to them? How many schools have been put up? Nothing much. We don't get to know how much has happened. We don't get to see what is happening there. Still, the people over there haven't been rehabilitated. They don't have homes. They don't have proper schools, medical facilities, no business, nothing. And the Sri Lankan refugees in camps in Tamil Nadu, many of them have been here for 2 generations and 3 generations. They don't know anything but India. And DMK has been always asking for, we've been battling for their Indian citizenship. Let the people who want to go back, go back. But there are many of these refugees who do not want to go back. They don't know anything but India. India is their homeland. We have to consider giving them a citizenship. Sir, and this morning also there was a question about the fishermen's issues.
Thank you, thank you.
Just 1 minute more, sir. So the fishermen's, even questions about Kachativu were raised. At least can't we negotiate for the fishing rights near Kachativu? Why should our fishermen be arrested again and again? We should negotiate for the fishing rights near Kachativu at least. That's the minimum they can do. And there was a committee which was to be set up between with the members of the fishermen community from Sri Lanka and from Tamil Nadu. What happened to that community? The committee, how have they met? Have they resolved the issues? What is the outcome of it? Sir, one thing I'd like to bring in is, a country is strong only based on how peaceful the country is, how inclusive the growth is, how inclusive the development is, how comfortable and peaceful people feel, and how much they feel they belong to the nation. Excluding people, making them feel less, making languages feel less, taking away rights from the states will not make a country stronger. We should understand this, and food security is very important. Without food security, there's no security for any nation.
Thank you, thank you.
And what is happening in Tanjavur, in the Delta area, trying to look for methane, ruining culture over there. People are fighting there in Kadiramangalam, in Tanjavur district, in Pudukkottai. I mean, you can't bring in projects which people don't want. It's a fertile belt. If you're going to ruin food security, then there can be no security in this country. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.